Hello everyone, my name is David Ballou and I'm going to give a review of the Mavic Mini that I bought about a week ago. It's going to be an honest review, okay? I will first tell you all that I am a Mavic Pro owner, Mavic Pro Air or whatever, the Fly More combo that I bought from Apple. 5 stars across the board for that drone, okay? And now I bought this Mavic Mini Fly More combo from Apple as well, okay? Now you don't have to buy them through Apple, but that's a convenient place for me to do it. And I get to use it for my storm chasing business, which I thought I might be able to use this for some storm chasing. I mean, I know it's lightweight and things like that, but I thought I might be able to get above some trees somewhere off in the distance and just get some time lapses or anything like that. However, I have found that since I bought this in the past week, it's been fairly windy every single day. Okay, never more than 14 miles an hour. And today's test flight, I checked, and the wind speeds were 11 miles an hour. Okay, so based on 11 miles an hour, I'm going to give you this review. Okay, I'm going to start with 5 stars, excuse me, and I'm going to deduct as we go along and add if needed here and there. Okay, so first thing I will say is the controller. Okay, has no display. All right, now I knew it didn't have a display, but being a DJI product, I would have thought that might get a display like you do with the Mavic Pro, okay, and now I understand they may be doing that to keep the cost down, so I'm going to give them that. This thing feels kind of cheap, very much like plastic. We want to drop this and these thumbsticks, they screw in. Don't cross thread one of these things, okay? You don't get any feedback or anything like that because of the display. You're going to have to use a phone if you want any of that information on distance, your speed, your motors, battery life level left over, and things like that. And so no display is half star. Thumbsticks, I almost want to give it a full star, half for each one, but I'll just call this half star. So we're down to 4 or 5 stars. Okay, charges well, connects like I want it to. It does that job very well. I'm not going to deduct anything just yet on the fact that this is enhanced Wi-Fi. Okay, I'll get to that a little bit later when I get into to that about the flight. Okay, this is pretty good. All right, that is a 3-pack charging kit that you get with the Fly More combo. You plug it in, you put your 3 batteries in, and once one is charged, goes to the next one, goes to the next one. That's great. It's not like the Mavic Pro, you know, you got to plug one in, wait 4 to 5 minutes or whatever, know that it's charged, unplug it, come back, plug it in, wait for it to charge, put your 3rd battery in based on a Fly More combo, and then be able to have 3 fully charged batteries. Okay? So that's pretty good, you know. I like that. Supposedly you can turn this thing on and use it as a phone charger if you wanted to, okay, which is fine. It's a mobile battery pack. That's not a sale point for me at all, but it's pretty nifty. All right, now we'll get into the jewel, the Mavic Mini. Okay, very light, okay, 249 grams. 1 gram less than being required to register it with the FAA. Yeah. Okay, that's great. All right. Entry level. Yeah, I get it. All right. Very plastic. Pretty cheap. Want to accidentally pop this thing off here. Okay. Feels very cheap. Not very durable feeling at all. Okay. Not deducting points for that. I'm just saying, feels cheap, especially coming from DJI. I would have thought this would be a little durable. Just tapping it, you can hear vibration in it. Okay. Folds and opens the same way as the Mavic Pro, smaller in size. I don't have my other one to compare it with right now with me. It's in the shop. I flew the other one in sport mode accidentally into a tree. Okay, that was my fault. And I ripped the gimbal ribbon. $68 to get it fixed. Not a big deal. Really like the Mavic Pro. This, on the other hand, I'm not so impressed with. Okay. It does connect very easily. Okay, of course, you're just right there within range of it and stuff like that, so it does real well. But here's the guts of my review. If you can fly a kite, you probably do not want to fly a Mavic Mini. Okay, 11 miles an hour. As soon as I took off, came up about 3-4 feet, all over the place. Not very stable at all. Just back and forth, moving around. Okay, my Mavic Pro, perfect. Okay, took this up 100 feet, and it's wanting to move. Strong wind warnings, 11 miles an hour. Okay, not too impressive. My Mavic Pro, easily 22 miles an hour wind, because I'm a storm chaser. And I use my Mavic Pro for storm chasing. I haven't got that stellar video yet, but I'm working on it. But I can mount a GoPro on front, 360 on back, stable as can be, 400 feet, 22 miles an hour, and no wind warnings. Okay, 11 miles an hour, confirmed 11 miles an hour. This thing pushing forward into the wind, moves at 1 mile an hour. I let go, and it's moving back by itself. Can't even stay stable in 11 mile an hour winds. It won't stay in one spot. I think that's very important for people. Now here's part two, going back to the controller. All right, advanced Wi-Fi. Okay, not the RF, which I think is what Mavic Pro uses, RF. It does very well on distance, way out. Trees, not a problem, stuff like that. You get one tree in the way of this thing, about 800 feet away, video gets choppy, signal loss, signal loss. Moving my antennas, moving around, trying to get line of sight a little better through the trees. Don't have any leaves on the trees, mind you. Okay, no, signal loss, signal loss. Signal loss. What's it doing at 11 miles an hour during signal loss? That's what it's doing. It's moving away from you. So you're quickly moving, getting around, walking 100 feet, trying to find this way, get that way, just to get the signal reestablished. Just to, in a panic, bring it home. Okay? Because 11 mile an hour winds, even at 3 feet above the ground. As soon as it took off, it was kind of readjusting in the wind, so it didn't get those sensors to get a really good idea of where it took off at or from, even in GPS mode. So when I did return to home, not land, just return to home, use GPS, come back, gets down a certain distance, gets kind of within the range, and then wants to try to land on the steps, okay, which it wouldn't land. It saw it as, I don't know what's going on here, doesn't look right to me, so it just stopped, okay, and then I had to manually move it and set it in place. Now what I usually do, okay, because I don't have one of those little helicopter landing pads that pop out, and lay on the ground. All right, I'll put 4 quarters at each feet so that it'll have something that's kind of high contrast in relation to the ground. Now, I didn't do that, mind you, but that's usually what I do. But my Mavic Pro doesn't necessarily need that. It is heavy enough and stable so that when it takes off, it's going to come straight up and hover, get the sensors working, know where it's at, then I can take off and do my thing, return to home, and it's going to be within inches of it. The Mavic Mini does not. Okay, you're going to have to monitor this thing. I understand it's entry level. Okay, but I expected more. The reviews were pretty good on YouTube that I looked at, several of them prior to buying. I almost bought 2 of these. Okay, but luckily they only had 1 in stock. And I was going to wait for my budget to work up where I knew I could buy a second one. And then during that time, it gave me some time to fly this thing to get that feel of, yeah, you know, great product. I'm going to go buy that second one. One for me, one for my son, who I'm trying to get into drones. He's 7 years old, really techie little kid, smart. He's flown my drone, my Mavic Pro, and I think he was expecting this to do the same thing. And unfortunately, my son, if you can fly a kite that day, you cannot fly the Mavic Mini. We might as well get your kite out and fly it, because you're not flying this. It's going to have to be dead calm. And it's going to have to be out in the field. I now have no trust whatsoever to be around. In the area we've got, we are surrounded by trees, but we've got a fairly open area, you know. But obviously, keep the cost down. Those sensors, that's all you get. Nothing to keep you from flying into a tree or flying into himself. I do have the propeller guards and stuff like that that would protect him for that. And he knows that if he loses control or something, to just take his hands off the controller and it'll stop. But high winds, it's just going to kind of do the unknown. Okay? So the whole flight thing in 11 mile an hour, that's 2 stars. Boom, just like that. Controller, thumbsticks, that's a star. We're at 2 of 5 stars. Okay? And 2.5 if I counted per controller's thumbstick. But the charging station is a plus half star. So I'm going to keep this at 2 of 5 stars. Being a DJI product, okay? Even for entry level, I expected much more than this right here. I expected this stability and extended flight out, especially even though I can in line of sight. Okay, the tree issue. Okay, I get it. Enhanced Wi-Fi, got to be line of sight. So that's kind of where I stand on this right here. And for $544, including tax, for the Fly More combo, this should have been at least $125 less. And if it was that much less, even with the wind issue, for tinkering around on a calm day and stuff like that, I could see myself owning 2 of these. But now at this point, this will be the last of this style Mavic Mini that I ever buy. And I would wait until my budget that would have allowed me to buy 2 Mavic Minis to buy another Mavic Pro or Air or something like that that my son could utilize, that had the display to use with his phone, and minus the charging port pack. Okay, my money should have been more spent on a higher grade drone than this right here. So I'm at 15 minutes. I've taken 2 takes on this, trying to get a real good review, and this one's the longest one. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I know you hear that a lot in YouTube videos. I'm not some high-end YouTuber that's got subscribers or anything like that. This is just me, an honest review. Shouldn't be any ads in this thing right here. This is just 34 seconds of me telling you not to buy one of these things unless you realize that it is more of a toy than it is a what am I trying to say? Like the Mavic Pro is more of a hobbyist style drone. This is a toy to me. Very expensive toy. So let me know what you think. Whether you agree, disagree. Maybe I'm not the best pilot. Maybe I am expecting too much out of this, but all the reviews that I saw, I don't know, made me think that I was getting more out of this than I've gotten. So that's about it. Think twice before you buy the Mavic Mini. Okay? Thank you.